today, the White House is expected to send a letter to House Democrats demanding a formal vote if they want President Trump to comply with the impeachment inquiry. A senior member of the House Democratic caucus telling Fox News House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is unlikely to give in to the request.
All right, the Democrat establishment is moving full steam ahead on impeachment, but for moderate House members in states that support the president, is it more important to follow the herd or to listen to their constituents, to the voters? Here to debate that, Trump 2020 Advisory Board member Jason Meister and Democratic political analyst Kelly Hyman. Guys, thanks for coming on this morning. Jason, we'll start with you. If you're a Democrat and you're at a place like Wisconsin, maybe Michigan, Pennsylvania, this could be dangerous in some ways.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to actually infuriate moderate Democrats and independents because this, if you think about it, the Democrats have begun this impeachment inquiry the day that President Trump was inaugurated. You saw it with the Russia collusion hoax, which backfired. 2 years of an investigation, $45 million later, and they have nothing to prove for it. You saw what they did with Kavanaugh, and now you see this Ukrainian call, which was perfect, okay? There is absolutely nothing wrong with this phone call. In fact, the president has an obligation to rout out corruption all around the world, and he did a perfect job on that phone call.
Kelly, I suspect you don't think that it was a perfect phone call, and I want to get your response as to what you think the members that are in these dangerous districts should do on this.
Absolutely. Good morning. Yes, I absolutely totally disagree with what he just said. First off, it was not a perfect call. Let's look at the transcript with Trump and the Ukraine president. And there's three key takeaways that we need to look at. Number one, Trump stated, that the U.S. has been very good to Ukraine and Ukraine hasn't been good to the U.S. Number two, Trump asked for a favor. Number three, Trump asked that the president
Well, Kelly, just to push back, he didn't ask for the favor regarding the investigation into Joe Biden. He asked for a favor talking about the origins of the Russia probe.
That's correct. He was talking about the DNC hacking. He was talking about the Mueller investigation. He was not talking about the corruption with Joe Biden. And by the way, Joe Biden is not above the law.
And there was nothing in the transcript that said anything about any kind of corruption. So the transcript doesn't say that. Doesn't talk about corruption.
If we put up the graphic of the transcript, you'd see that the do me a favor had absolutely nothing to do with Joe Biden. But let's talk about Joe Biden for a second. Joe Biden is not above the law, just like no one else in this country is above the law. Just because he's running for president doesn't mean that he shouldn't be investigated.
But Jason, let me push back on you for a second. A lot of people ask why the president hasn't asked his own intelligence agencies to take a look at this. Why are we asking Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden? Why are we asking China?
Look, actually, if you looked at the transcript, President Zelensky, the president of the Ukraine, who won based on draining the swamp in the Ukraine, was the one who opened up the door to the conversation about draining the swamp in the Ukraine. So it wasn't actually President Trump who brought up the corruption and the draining of the swamp. It was the president of Ukraine and President Zelensky.
All right, fair enough. Let's take a look here. I want to show you there's a number of Democrats here who have not supported impeachment or have not indicated that they support impeachment. If we pull up the graphic here, there's, about 8 of them right there. Kelly, if the transcript is all that we discover from this, if we don't learn anything more from the second whistleblower, do you still think that impeachment is the right move here?
Well, first off, a poll recently showed that most Americans do support an impeachment inquiry. However, as a lot of us know, even if the House impeaches him, the Senate will never indict the president.
Right. Why is it that Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to call a vote on this? Sticking with you,
I think it's important that we do our due diligence and investigate and make sure that the American people have a right to know and get as much information as possible before there's a vote. And I think it's important to have an informed decision before making a decision because it's an important decision.
Fair enough. Jason, the final word to you. I want to ask you, Jason, do you think Democrats are making a dent here? Because it does to the average person out there who's not politically affiliated. The president seems to always be in some kind of a crisis. And it is exhausting to the average voter having to pay attention to all this.
It's extremely exhausting. I agree with you. It's going to backfire magnificently. And to the question you asked earlier about Nancy Pelosi not taking this vote, she didn't take it to a vote because there's no stomach for this right now in this country. The leadership of the Democrat Party has left their party. They have left their constituents. This is not what the American
That's
people
not
want.
true.
The Democrats don't want this in middle America. It's the coastal elites that are running the Democrat, the leadership, away from the Democrat Party. This is effectively trying to overturn a democratically elected president and nullify 63 million voters. It's unacceptable in our republic, and it never should happen.
Okay. Guys, good conversation this morning. We do appreciate your time, Kelly. Jason, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.